Okay, so English Lit Paper 2 mock tomorrow. I'm just going to go through really quickly for you what the paper looks like and how you answer the questions. As I've put here, just remember I'm showing you an example English Lit Paper 2 here. This isn't your actual mock paper. Okay, so when you go into your mock tomorrow, it'll look like that. If you read your instructions, you'll be fine. Okay, so it says answer one question from section A, one from section B, and both of them from section C. So you know you'll answer 1, 2, 3, 4 questions in total. Okay, and all your info's there. It lists the texts on the paper, and you will see which of the texts you have studied there. And if you use this, you'll be fine. So section A, for 11A1, 11A3 and 11A7, this is an Inspector Calls. For 11A star 2, 4, 5, 6 and 8, that's Lord of the Flies. You're going to spend 45 minutes, it's worth 30 marks plus 4 for SPAG. Really importantly, you get a choice of 2 questions on the text that you've studied, only answer one of them, and you know about what your teacher's told you about answering it. It's an analysis question, meanings, methods, message. So for those of you studying in Inspector Calls, it'll look something like that. So as a reminder, you're not going to answer both of those questions. It says either or, so you pick one of them and you spend 45 minutes answering one of those questions. As I've said to a lot of you, there are a lot of texts on this paper that you haven't studied. 2 examples here, okay? Don't answer questions on texts that you haven't studied. You are answering one question on either Lord of the Flies or an Inspector Calls. Lord of the Flies students, again, or not both of them, so your questions would look something like that. Okay, section B is on poetry comparison. This is Power and Conflict. You haven't been taught love and relationships. You haven't been taught Other Worlds. That's the new cluster. One of the poems will be printed that you've studied. You have got to talk about this poem and one other poem in your answer. It's worth 30 marks. You'll spend about 45 minutes. And remember, we've talked about meaning, method, message, analysis, and comparison. I've missed off there. Okay, so meaning, method, message, and comparison. So again, it'll print the poems. You haven't studied love and relationships, so you skip this one. Okay, don't answer about a list of poems that you haven't studied. So you lot have done Power and Conflict, so it'll list the poems, you will recognise them, and then like I say, one of them's printed and you'll compare it with one of your choice. So compare how poets present the effects of power in Miles Duchess and one other poem. On your revision booklet that you were given, you got some example questions on the back, and it also tells you about the structure of your answer. But you would have to talk about Miles Duchess in this question, and you would choose one of the other poems that you would compare it to. Okay, if this was me and I was answering about the effects of power, I would probably use Ozymandias in this question. So I'd be talking about Miles Duchess and Ozymandias in this answer. Okay, in section C then you've got 2 unseen poems and 2 questions, and you need to answer both. You'll spend 30 minutes on the first one, because that's worth 24 marks. Just remember meaning, method, message, analysis. You need to analyse words and techniques, and perhaps poetic methods. Okay. In scaffolding, how does the poet present the speaker's feelings about their relationship? Your question will also always have that term speaker's feelings. It will always have the word how. So you'd spend 30 minutes answering that question, probably 2 or 3 analysis paragraphs. Okay, then the second unseen question is worth 8 marks. This will compare 2 unseen poems. It'll be the one that you've just answered on and another. Remember, you've got to compare methods in this. Big revision thing, no methods, no marks. In poem A, the writer uses similes in order to do this. This is seen when it says, by using the word the writer seems to suggest. Okay. However, in poem B, it uses light motif in order to show this. Okay. Unlike in A, it seems a bit of comparison there. 1 paragraph would be fine. Okay, you won't write more than 2. Spend 15 minutes. Okay, so you've got to talk about the methods and quotations in both poems. and it'll look something like that. So, I'll save this as a video, put it on Satchel, and it just helps you if you need reminding on what to answer. So as a recap, you will answer 4 questions in total. 1 question on either Inspector Calls or Lord of the Flies. The power and conflict comparison, where you compare a printed poem with one of the other poems that you've chosen, and both unseen. 45 minutes for section A, 45 minutes for section B, 45 minutes split up into 30 minutes and 15 minutes for section C. Okay, hope that's useful. Good luck tomorrow.